Hi, welcome back to Orlando Experience. So, today, you know what we're here for, Horror Nights Construction. It's probably going to be our last update, other than maybe a couple of shorts when we do get closer to the event, because it's right around the corner. It's currently August 15th, so we're only like 2 weeks away from Horror Nights. A little less if you're going to be ending up at that like pre-scare thing they're doing, or they're limiting admission. I'm obviously not doing that because it was very expensive. I don't think it's a bad deal for what you're getting. You're getting a lot of food and stuff, but I didn't feel like paying for it. So we're definitely going to be here opening night though. So I'm excited, but they've put up a ton of stuff since we've last been here. Tons of stuff for scare zones, food booths, everything. A bunch of stuff got put up just today. So we're going to head up to the front right now and we'll film and go all the way around in a loop. So as soon as you walk into Universal Orlando right now, you do see the Halloween Horror Nights stage right now. Same as we had last year, it's literally identical with all the letters that will glow at night. I'm assuming a similar opening ceremonies where we'll have the main character come up on this, or characters this year, because we do have 2 icons it seems this year. Curious to see what their costumes will look like when we actually get around. But it looks like the stage is fully up and they've got the scrim over this, so all the actors can end up to the top. So as we come up to this front scare zone here, that we're assuming is going to kind of split ways with the way it is described, there's nothing. I mean, they still don't have a single prop out. And I don't know if they're trying to keep it like a secret of what it will really be like or something, but there's absolutely nothing for Duality of Fear up here at the front. But there's plenty more, don't worry. So we're going to be heading back to the food booth right now over by Jimmy Fallon, kind of back there. So I was walking up to this food booth over here and I see off in the very corner, kind of where you would enter the house that's going to be in this main area here, there's a place called the Cool Zone, and they have a bunch of giant fans out there, one that's a mister. So I guess if you want to cool off, head by the stage over here. I've just never seen that before, so I thought that was funny. First food booth we're coming up to right now is going to be the Insidious one. I would be surprised if they do have Insidious in this main area. It's always been rumored that it's a quiet place, but I guess that could change. Be interesting to see what they have here. It's a pretty nice looking food booth with the door, but kind of what we expect if you've been to Horror Nights the last couple years now. So the next 2 food booths are right over here across the way from this bar that's right on the edge of Transformers and kind of in the extended queue. It's the Twilight Tavern. I'm not really positive what this theme's to. Assuming a quiet place because it's kind of overgrown, but honestly it looks like a lot like a Last of Us booth. So I'm not positive the theming. Same with the other one. We obviously know it's a Twisted Tater booth, but it's kind of like kids themed. I mean, it kind of looks like Chucky, but I don't know. They do have a little doghouse with eyes peering out of it though. And that's obviously where you get Twisted Taters. So we have come up to our Ghostbusters food booths, and this is taking over this whole back area behind Central Park. They're pretty nice looking actually, I really like them. I mean, also interested to see the menu for this, because I think this could have a pretty interesting menu with some frozen treats and stuff like that. But I like all the looks of all this. I think it looks very nice. So they don't have much on terms of like front house entrance areas. If you don't know what they've announced this year, I would highly suggest go watch our video from earlier, about a month ago. I go over every single house and their descriptions and where they're going to be at and everything. So definitely go check that out after this one. Our first scare zone we're coming up to is Torture Fair. They've added a ton to this area. I think it was just today they put up most of these props. They have a body hanging into this barrel here. And they do have like a king and queen chair up on this behind one of the icons. And then they obviously have an Iron Maiden over here. There's obviously going to be some sort of show. It kind of looks like there's some grating there, so they might pump smoke up through there for some reason. But they usually have some sort of show up on the stage where like characters will do something. I wouldn't be surprised if someone goes on like the Iron Maiden or something. Over here they have the breaking wheel, get another body. I kind of expected this to be the scare zone, a lot of bodies that would be covered up. Seems like some sort of wheel kind of thing. I will say, some of these could be brutal. I imagine they're gonna have some speakers inside the bowl over here. but I'm glad to see this zone looking pretty nice. I mean, this is what I wanted it to be, with some cool torture stuff. And they do have like an archery one with a body hanging next to the target over there. And they have one more set of props up right over here. So kind of similar to last year, they have like almost like a goods booth that won't actually be selling anything. Then they do have a spot here called the Blood Eagle. I'm assuming that's going to be an actor on there because there's no body. They could add a body, but I'm not sure. We're going to talk about the food stuff in the alley, but we're going to walk around to the front because that's not the entrance. The entrance is over this way. So over here towards the front, near kind of the Transformers entrance here, we do have the Quiet Place food booth. This is where you're going to order right here. This is kind of how it was last year. The year before it was a little more chaos, but this is how The Last of Us worked. You kind of order here, and then you'll walk through the main gate here with your order, and then usually there's a pretty big line for this food booth. So you'll walk through over here into a little more theming, and then the actual food booth is going to be on our left. They sometimes have a drink stand here for some of the alcoholic beverages, so I could see that happening again. But here's the actual food booth here. So you'll bring your ticket up and then they'll make whatever you ordered. I do like the look of this one. It's kind of reminiscent very much of Last of Us. Similar post-apocalyptic kind of scenarios there. And then on the back it says exit only, be quiet. So quickly, I thought I would mention over here in the shop for the exit of Mummy, they did put up this new display for the Museum of Antiquities, talking about I don't know if it's Central Park in general. I know there's a lot of little documents and stuff about different things, but it's being like overgrown, and there's rumors of like a giant bat inside. Just thought it was cool that they put this little bit of theming over here inside this exit area. I will say, at least for me, Horror Nights food is kind of hit or miss. I've had some really good treats and food items before, but I've also had some ones that I would never get again. I think it was like 3 years ago, they had this like princess's like heart that was like a Rice Krispie treat. It was awful. Like, it was so bad. It was so stale. It was sitting there for a long time, clearly. So I've had some big hit and misses, but like last year there was a decent couple that I really did like the snowballs, the Yeti snowballs. Those were really good. So I'm hoping this year has some other good ones. Over here next to Fast and Furious, since we're walking by, you can kind of see, we'll get a little closer in a second, but you can't see one of the smokestacks for this house right over here. So you can kind of see the outside portion right here with the smokestacks. This is going to be Major Sweets Candy Factory. I'm assuming how it'll work, because this is almost always how this house works, is you'll enter from over here, you go a little bit through the Fast and Furious line, and then there's a part where you'll do a part inside, and then you'll walk kind of outside into an alley area. I bet that's when you actually enter the big part of the factory, and that's what all that signage is for. And then you'll do the last half of the house and come out near the Fast and Furious exit. So this is another scare zone that hasn't changed a whole lot since we were last here. They've added a couple things. This is Blumhouse. There's a few little props that I'm assuming kind of where the characters will be. Here's the phone from the black phone on this edge here. This scare zone's gonna have a lot of lighting, clearly. They have a lot of lighting like trussed up with a ton of giant lights on them. Then they do have projectors on that back like scaffolding area. So that will be interesting to see what's back there. What they kind of project, because it looks like it's going to project all along the back there. I will say, no signs of Five Nights at Freddy's. I know people are like, oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't know if it's going to happen. No clue what that's from. I have not watched all the Blumhouse movies now. I know that's from Freaky. And then they have one more stage over here. So I know a little bit about the houses. I'm trying to keep myself spoiler free because I like to walk through the houses for the first time. I've seen a couple of the facades that I'll put up when we get back there to where they are, of a couple of the houses shot by BioReconstruct on Twitter. But I know some people are doing those like behind the screen tours right now, that you go in with like a tour guide with all the lights on and you get to see all the sets and stuff. So I haven't watched any of those, so I'm still trying to keep myself spoiler free. I think those are cool, but for me, I think I would like my first walk through the house to be with the actors and stuff, and then do that after. Seemingly another food booth over here, or it could be the Chucky photo op too over here, and they just have it still covered. We do have one food booth over here though that looks like it's going to be themed to goblins. So a pretty nice looking food booth over here. I'm assuming it's themed to goblins because that's the only like medieval type house this year. So curious to see what this menu have, because this could be a really interesting menu. I don't know how well my camera will pick it up because it just doesn't zoom very much, but in there you can kind of see a little bit of the decorations for this year's Nightmare feel, that it's going to be kind of circus themed. That I'm excited because it looks like it is changing up the formula with at least the stage area. It's kind of been the same looking one for the last few years. So over here where Goblins Feast and Monsters is going to be letting in is where we have our first house actually like entrances set up with the screens for the wait times. Nothing on this one yet. There's been rumors that there could be 3 house entrances back here, so that might be why they're stacked on each other, or they could just be ending up doing 2, and that's why they put those, and then they're going to put both the house names over here. I'm going to insert some of the aerial footage right now. So the first one's going to be the Goblins Feast entrance with kind of almost a medieval tavern kind of look to it. I'm really excited for this house. This is my most anticipated. We'll see if it actually ends up being that, but I'm really excited for it. The other house entrance that you're seeing right now is going to be for Monsters. Right now, it's not looking like much. I'm hoping they do a little bit more for out front since they're doing a tent this year for this, but I hope the entry is at least pretty cool still. So over here at the exit for Men in Black, and then the restrooms right next to it, we're going to have 2 entrances. Over here is going to be Deadly Museum, and then right there is going to be Slaughter Cinema. We do have one more aerial footage that kind of looks like it's Slaughter Cinema's entrance just because there's a poster on it. I could be wrong, but what you're seeing right now is what we've seen for a facade, kind of back in that area. So it's actually pretty nice today. It doesn't seem like it's too busy. It's clear that the locals are obviously in school and school's kind of started. There's still a decent amount of tourists here today, but I only waited 20 minutes this morning for the Velocicoaster, and I don't think that's that bad. It was raining. I ran back there in the rain right at like 10:30, so that could have been part of it. But I think overall it's not too busy here today, with lines still a little busy. It's clear that the tourists are still here, but it's actually not too bad here. So before we head into Swamp of the Undead, I do want to come over here by Animal Actors, because over here at this bar that's over here, they actually do have it themed to a Cary drive-in right now. It's called a snack bar. Obviously kind of themed to Slaughter Cinema in Cary. If you don't know, Cary, Ohio is a big part of Horror Nights kind of lore and stuff. But they're setting up back here for everything. It does look like they're gonna have something to do with popcorn, because they do have this like themed popcorn piece right here. So now we come up on Swamp of the Undead over here. I will say, this Airzone's got a lot of props, man. There's a lot of areas where they'll be able to hide behind a bunch of different props and wood and all that. They've put up a few more things. They do have a gator seemingly with a body because it's covered up. That's what you can always assume. Oh, it actually looks like there's 2 gators. Tail coming out that end. But yeah, again, this place has so many props. Like, it's surprised me and a lot of people how much they continue to add to the scare zone with little things just everywhere, and it kind of feeling very chaotic, that I'm very excited for.
Hey. How are you guys doing today?
So they do have a ton more theming that they've again added here. They have an airboat over here with clearly some bodies on it. And then they do have another pier over here. Overall, this scare zone surprised me already so far, even though it's not even open yet. It's just so prop heavy. I mean, I don't feel like this scare zone's ever been like this. Then over here, right at the front, one last body inside a boat. So we've come over here to our last scare zone that again still has like nothing. This doesn't surprise me that much just because this is kind of a main parade viewing area. So I imagine a lot of these bigger floats that they're going to bring out for this scare zone are just going to be rollouts. So we won't actually see it until Horror Nights actually starts this year. If there does anything come out, make sure to follow us on like TikTok and stuff, and I'll come by and film a little something for it. But yeah, I don't see anything coming out until Horror Nights actually starts. And they obviously have Horror Nights merch all in here if you're interested in that. But if you do like doing the tribute store stuff, they have started it. So you can come and take a picture and they'll put you on like a fake can of beans or oil and stuff like that to be a part of the tribute store. So if you like doing that, they have started it. I don't know when it started, but they do seem to be still doing it. So this is your time to come and do that if you want to do it before they sell out to them. Not much more to talk about today. I mean, we've seen basically all they've put up, and I think this is pretty similar to what they'll put up for the rest of the year. Besides the one over here in Hollywood, I think that's going to have a lot of rollout props that are going to come out, so we won't actually see it until the night of. Make sure to stay tuned. We'll definitely be here the first night. I'm very excited for Horror Nights this year, especially Goblin's Feast and Torture Fair. I think those both look really, really good. I think the general census around this year is kind of a little bit lower on the hype scale than normal. I think that's just because I think a lot of the times the IP houses are what hype people up for Horror Nights instead of the originals. But I think the originals bring people back and wanting to come more, and I think they're more fun to walk through again over the IPs. 'Cause I feel like for me, I'm usually like, I do the IPs 2 or 3 times every year, but the ones I'm always wanting to do again are always the originals. So I think as soon as the event starts getting rolling, I think a lot of people will enjoy this year a lot. But I have a lot of hope for this year, so thank you for watching. I hope this video brought a little more joy into your day. And we'll see you guys next time, and pretty soon at Horror Nights, just about 2 weeks.